Have ghosts and demons been coming after you since you were a kid and you've been seeing ghosts and shit and angels and shit?
Then you might be a light worker. Take it out from here, so.
Bro, I don't even know what that was.
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Suman. This podcast is all about how to be an optimal, conscious male in today's society. Are you ready to be a better man?
And welcome back to another incredible episode of the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Suman.
Ed and Eddie. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Let's go. So, in this podcast episode, we're going to be talking about how do you know that you're a light worker?
Ooh, do you have depression? Do you suffer from other people's emotions? Do you sometimes get like a ringing sound in your ear?
Zooey mama.
Have ghosts and demons been coming after you since you were a kid and you've been seeing ghosts and shit and angels and shit?
Then you might be a light worker. Take it out from here, so.
Bro, I don't even know what that was. I think the shadow workers are more invested right now with that deep ass voice, bro. Okay, so yeah, in this episode, we're talking to all the empaths, the indigo children, the light workers, the Reiki healers, all of you guys, and I feel that it's your sense of duty to know, are you actually a light worker? Maybe you have, strong urges to harness that positive energy around you. Maybe you feel like negative energy is too negative, right? I think for a lot of light workers, they feel more. They're just hypersensitive. And so the thing is, you have the power to heal because you've been through so much pain. And I think a lot of the times we forget that as light workers, that pain is valuable. I watched that show Magicians. It was saying that magic comes from how much pain you've gone through. Like, you can do more spells and you can do a lot more if you can tap into the energy of you know the pain and the adversity that you've been through. So if you regularly, you go through a lot of pain and hardship, if you constantly want to grow, I think that's another one too. Like, I have this obsessive compulsive quest for the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm constantly on that upward spiral journey of unlayering myself until I get to the little tiny onion layer of the spiral, like of course we start out on the journey, like exploring ourselves on the spiral. It's like, it's a paradox because we are led to the journey away from ourselves to come back to ourselves. And it's in every single movie you see it. The main character, they go away from themselves and then they eventually realize, hey, it's been within me this whole time. And I think, that's super valuable. You're muted, brother.
I was just saying what you were saying at the exact same time that you were saying what you were saying. So, my thoughts on what you were saying. I have no mind. No mind, no mind, no mind, no mind. Actually, I had something that I wanted to share, but I completely forgot. So, I'll just let you. What were you saying? What were you talking about?
I was talking about, like, how when you're on a growth journey to growth, it's a journey, first of all, away from yourself,
Got
and
it. Got it.
and
Got
then
it. Got it.
a journey back towards yourself. You know what I
So,
mean?
when you finally connect all the dots, everything's gonna be like, damn, that made sense. It makes a lot of sense. So like, I could just tell you my dots and see how they connect with your dots.
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
Um, so since I was a kid, I've had this inner knowing, this inner feeling. I didn't need to prove myself to be like cool. I didn't need to prove myself. I didn't need to prove myself, right? However, I did have a lot of pride. Even as a kid, I had a lot of pride. I was a kid that actually was bullied a lot. It was dope. People would be like, people, but this is the thing though. It wasn't even bullying to me though. Like retrospect, it's like, yeah, I would classify it as bullying. But at the time, like it would be like people putting me in like these uncomfortable positions and be like, does it hurt? And I'd be like, no, obviously it hurt. I was in pain. And they'd be like, "They do it harder. And be like, does it hurt? And I'm like, no. And they're doing it super fucking hard. And they're like, does it hurt? And I'm like, no. And I'm obviously in fucking pain, but I'm like, hell no, bitch. You ain't gonna get it out of me. You ain't gonna get it out of me.
So it's like an unbreakable quality, basically. You wanted to like keep it going to the last minute, the bitter end.
You gonna have to fucking kill me, bro. You're gonna have to fucking kill me. You know? This that's not obviously that's not the side that I show everybody, and a lot of people won't get to see that side because well they have good souls, and sometimes there's bad people, but when it's your own family, when you're in your argument with your own family or your own friend, you gotta remind yourself that that's not the enemy. That's not the enemy.
Yeah. For me, the enemy has always been within, and that's been like a tough journey to realize that. And I've always understood, like I've always had a difficulty in socializing with people, growing up. Like I would see success around me, but I wouldn't be able to accept that success or be able to, like, it was handed to me on a silver platter in a sense, like I grew up very privileged, more well off than other people. So, you know, I did get into that mentality of like, oh man, like, it's supposed to be a specific way for me, so when things didn't go that way, it crushed my self-esteem. So when
I'm just being dramatic, bro. I'm being dramatic.
so when I ended up finally like opening up and socializing, I remember I asked this girl to prom, and then she was like, I don't really know you, and I was like,
Bitch, yeah,
oh.
dude.
I was like, but we've been talking every day. That's what I was thinking in my mind. Obviously, I didn't. So I would like talk to her every single day, hoping for that one chance to like finally ask her. He said, but I don't really know you. And at that point, I reflected on that moment. I was like, at that moment when I asked her, I didn't really know myself. You know what I mean?
I speak for the entire collective when I say, damn.
Yeah, man. So, socializing often drains light workers. I've noticed this. Like, I'm a stereotypical introvert in a sense. Um, you're muted, brother.
Yeah, bro. I know I'm muted. I'm just trying to like test my mic. Yeah, but I'm listening to you too.
Okay. Um, so I guess I had to learn the hard way that sensitivity was my strength. And I did this to myself. That unbreakable quality. I started rap battling, as you know, from a young age. Like I heard every single insult. I got bullied too, so that's a dot that we can both connect on. I was bullied heavily, specifically because I was just different. I was just different to the other kids, you know. And I moved around a lot to like different places. So
You
I
like
was always an outlier. You know, I was always the different one, the outcast in a
okay.
sense, where I had to create my own character every time. So
Every time.
every single location, I had to create a different version of me. That's what I did in college, very full force, because I was like, I don't want to be the guy that I was in high school, you know. Though I like to be MC Scripts, like that's what people called me back then. MC Scripts, yeah. Oh, he's an Indian rapper guy. Yeah, yeah, I know him. You know, and that kind of became my persona that I could hide behind. You know,
MC scripts.
of course I dropped the MC because I was hella old school, but you know what I mean. So yeah, back then that was my persona. You know, I would just feel like, man, like I'm Scripts. If I'm not Scripts, then I'm not getting the girl. I'm not getting the grades. I'm not, you know, doing the thing. So I would hide behind this persona, and it was I built that character. You know, I built that motherfucker. So it was really important for me to have that as a place where I could safely express myself and be myself, because it was a amped up version of me, like how Eminem had Slim Shady. You know, it was kind of like that. It was like an alter ego. So I could actually hide behind the mask of Scripts. And I think I like that social mask in a sense. So when girls came up to me, they're like, "Oh, that was a really good performance" or whatever. I wouldn't know what to say in that moment because I was off of the Scripts
Bro,
character.
bro. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but like, are you still talking about? Are you still talking about how to know, you're a light worker,
I think I left that topic a while.
bro? Cause you would wear a mask.
But that's what light workers do. You know, our mental health it
For
suffers.
so much, for so much. So, all right, let's try to keep it back on track. All right,
Back. Um, but I was always drawn to helping others. I think light workers help others. I think it's intuitively something that we do in terms of like just just being able to experience someone else's heart. And I don't know if you felt this, but sometimes your heartbeat fucking synchronizes with the person next to you, or like you know, people around the store. You like start noticing like, whoa, something's shifting inside of me. Maybe I'm like breathing like them, you know. I've noticed that a lot. It's kind of weird. Have you felt anything similar, bro?
I'm doing it with you right now. Actually, when I was a kid, one time they called me out. They needed me to rub another kid with an egg because that's what I did.
Rub another kid with what?
An egg cleanse, for real, bro. That's how you like clean yourself from the third eye and shit. It's crazy. From the third eye, I mean, you clean yourself from the bad eye.
What? I was like, damn,
It's
this is
because
some
there's like evil eye. The evil eye. You clear yourself from the evil eye, not the third eye.
okay.
Mal de ojo. Uh, uh.
What is the evil eye for people who don't know what it is?
Bruh, it's just like somebody has a bad thought about you and they fucking put that shit out into the ether so fucking hard.
So it's like a curse almost.
Bro, it's like a boner that never goes away
What the
until you chop off the whole dick.
damn? That's intense.
Okay. So I'm talking about so they called me out and I remember I was like, okay, cool. I think I was playing some games, right? I don't know what I was doing before, but then is what I do remember is that I went to my closet and I pulled out a Tommy Hill figure sweater. Right? It was maroon, which is like a dark red, a red brown, and it had three stripes. Right? That went from like the sleeve across the chest across the other arm, right? I put it on because I thought that was the sweater that looked most like it looked most like a therapist, something a therapist would wear. So I thought it was something that like a therapist would wear. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear that on. And I went out, and I just remember like the kid did not want me to do it to him. He did not want me to rub him with the egg. He was like scared. And like he was like surrounded by his parents, and my parents are like, we have to do this. We have to do this. Very important. It's very cleansing. They're doing better. They're doing better for sure. I wouldn't say it's just because of my fucking egg, but but I'm sure I did something.
Then what is it with the egg and the protection? Like, why do eggs protect? Is there any kind of reasoning to that?
Well, you can control everything with intention base, and when you do it with an egg, the egg will absorb the thing. It's like a witch doctor thing. It's like a witch doctor, and I know I'm a witch doctor like than a motherfucker, bro. Like straight
Aren't
up.
they called like warlocks or something?
Man, I don't like that word though. It just I think something ugly when I hear the word warlock.
It does sound ugly. Yeah, you're right. It does sound like an ugly word.
Like you think like a grotesque Shrek looking ass motherfucker with some horns.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like horn tusks, bro. That's what's coming to my mind. Like a fucking instead of like a Shrek head, it's like a fucking pig head.
yeah, like a dinosaur or something.
But it's like
Yeah,
buff
totally.
as hell. It's like buff as hell. Like that. Right.
Yeah, like a rhino.
And he's got calves for days. Calves for days.
What the calves? Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Uh,
How your calves doing, by the way?
they're all right. They're actually bigger, a lot bigger than before.
That's what's
Um,
that's what's up.
yeah. Um,
Eject them. You should eject yourself.
do you have any
Serotonin.
do you have any guardian angels that you go are your
Yeah.
go-to?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to tell
Actually,
me?
since I was a kid, I would pray like crazy. I would know the prayers and stuff, and I would read the Bible. And there was like Archangel Raphael was really my go-to. It's my go-to homie whenever I need something. I just like I hit him up a lot, but lately I just been going to my spirit animal instead. But sometimes like whenever you really need something, you can call on everybody. You can call on the whole fucking world. You can call on
Your spirit animal is the jaguar, or
for sure. It's the Jaguar.
this in Lions Den Najim was saying something which I thought was very powerful. He was also on the Genius Days call. Um,
Mm.
and he was saying that he woke up late one day because of we have to check in every day, obviously, for Lions Den, and he said he missed his check-in time, and he visualized his spirit animal, and it mauled him. It like ripped him to shreds in his visualization. And I was like, whoa, like that's intense, like. But I also felt kind of jealous, like, damn, you have a connection like that with your spirit animal, like he's like gonna beat you up astrally or whatever,
Bro, it's really easy to connect with your spirit animal. Hell easy. Watch. That's what you gotta do. Watch. I'll tell you how to do it. Watch. Look. You just take a deep breath in. Look what I'll do with you right now. Like take a deep breath in. Now inside of you, look for the place where energy is like there. It's like there's energy right there. It's like the spot. Set the intention and say, hey, in this moment, I would like to connect with my spirit animal. Whatever animal comes to your mind. You got something?
That's cool as fuck.
What you get?
I got a hawk.
Mm,
That's cool. It was like right by my throat too, so I was like confused as to
oh,
yeah.
very
So it was like in my heart, and then I felt it in my throat.
Mm.
But that's really cool because I have been seeing a lot of hawks here, in my, you know, when I go to the roof, and it's constantly going by my balcony, and it's almost like it's following me around. So I mean, that's more confirmation in terms of that. Um, and I've been listening to this sound file with hawks, quotable integrity. You know that binaural
Mm-hmm.
page that with you. Yeah. I shared it with you a couple of times. I remember there was like a Scorpio file and a bunch of other ones that I sent you from them. But yeah, they have one for it's like bird's eye view life. It's like a life changing like sound file, and I've been listening to that very recently too. And I noticed my urges going down, like my feeling of just like, oh man, like I need to do this, or I feel like an urgency that's completely like
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. So
I would say you're probably also even feeling like more energetic, and you're more able to do the things that like took you a long time to do. Now you get them done faster.
yeah, it's also because like the bird's eye view, it's like looking at things from a different perspective, right? Perception. So that's always been my strength in life, I feel like. So yeah, when I can tap into that animal, it makes things less anxious because I can see the bigger picture.
Mm. There's also like a meditation, visualization that you can that I learned is like you go down a tunnel, right? You go down a tunnel, and eventually this tunnel becomes like really dark, but then you come out the other side, and you come out into a forest. You come out of a cave, and you walk down, uh, walk past the river, and then you go to like you get around the curve, and there's like a really big tree, just a fucking huge ass tree, right? And then your spirit animal comes from around the tree. Yeah, you like you set the intention there, and then the spirit animal comes to you.
That's a really cool visualization. I've done something similar, but it's behind a fire. So it's strange how both of those examples use nature. I think like animals are so connected to nature. I think that the visualization just helps.
Um, I think actually, if someone is really connected to animals, that is like an aspect of like your inner peace, right? So people like if you're the kind of person that always good with animals, for sure. I think there's a lot of people who like maybe not a a light worker, um, but I know for sure that probably there's a lot of doctors and zoologists and people who come here to Earth to like literally do jobs that don't pay shit, but they're keeping the whole fucking world together.
Yeah, for sure. Keeping
Like
the rhythm.
people in conservatories, I know 100% those motherfuckers are not getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for the jobs they're doing. But I know they're more fucking in love with their life and more fucking they feel much better about their people who are fucking saving the marine life and who are doing with the coral reefs, that stuff. My God, man, that stuff is so important. Those can be light workers too, man. Like it just you don't just have to be like the person that travels and does interdimensional traveling and does like fucking astral projection and works with crystals and does that's not just the only way to be a light worker. It's really not.
Totally agree with you. It's just a person who wants to help, and like I think I like the word light worker because I almost get the imagery of like a lighthouse, Like a lighthouse helps the boats in the darkness to see where the destination is. So it's like a guide in a sense. And isn't that what a coach is? Isn't that what a teacher is? Isn't that what a father is? Isn't that what a mentor is? Isn't that what a healer is? It's all, it transcends all of those things. It's just a person who is a guide.
But I think we also do have to make the great distinction that there are people who are literally battling the fucking darkness. And I mean fucking fighting the darkness. They're at war with darkness.
Yeah.
Right?
But
I consider myself one of those people.
Wouldn't those be shadow workers though?
Mm. Mm. Uh, Maybe I don't know. I just thought the word light worker was like somebody that works to bring light to the world, and like there's like a battle between good and evil, and right now evil is winning. If you guys haven't noticed, evil is winning. We're doing good, but evil is still winning. All right, just so that's clear.
Yeah.
The light is losing right now. The light is losing, but not because light is weak, but because we are weak. Simple and point. Case in point, boom. All right. So look, as light workers, is your job to go and bring the knowledge, bring the wisdom, bring the new truths to the people, bring the New Testament to the people, bring the commandments to the people. Be the fucking rider in the night who goes town to town on their horse singing, the British are coming, the British are coming. Spread the light. Be the person that's taking action and saying, okay, initiative, take initiative, take initiative. If you're not taking initiative in any place or form, you're not being a proper light worker. Fact. That's just a fact, because you're not doing what it is that light workers do.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the light workers that I know who are really doing it on a high level, and I've spoken to some of them and had a few of them on the podcast, and they've really been able to tap into that heart frequency. Like they are actually living in a different dimension, if that makes sense. They're living in 5D. Or at least they're able to have one foot in 5D to help the people in this three-dimensional realm, in this prison planet. So I think that the way showers, or the way shower, I guess, is just like a younger version of a light worker. I think is just somebody who's like in uh, the beginning phases of figuring out what that is. And I think everybody kind of like, if you enter the spiritual community, I think everyone in the back of their mind is like, oh, I want to be a light worker, And I think it's a title that's earned from you doing the things that you were meant to do and supposed to do on this planet. What do you think, man?
For sure, bro. It's kind of like it just has to get activated. It's like your genetic makeup has to get activated, and you activate it depending on your thoughts and actions. Right, your repeated thoughts and actions activate your genetic network. And the crazy thing is that like your genetic makeup doesn't change, like it's not different. It's just activated and deactivated genes. Like that's all that happens. So like you have all the genes in you. You have your fucking cancer genes and shit too, right? But like you can deactivate those.
Yeah. Something that I've heard in terms of that, what you just said, when they talk about DNA activation, like light codes, light body activation stuff, like that,
Receiving the light codes, bro. That shit's crazy.
like that. I actually did a session with she was like a starseed practitioner and like amazing light worker in general. Savannah Slauson, shout out to you, girl. Basically, when we did our session, she was talking about how it's the junk DNA within us that gets activated. Now, scientists are like, junk DNA, we don't need that, But it's interesting how these light workers look at this junk DNA as something that actually has potential. So I think one thing that makes light workers is to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Like someone who is like a poet does that too. You know, like they take really regular things like going to the supermarket and they'll explain it in such a way that it's like the most, extravagant thing in the world. Like,
Bro,
and it is.
I think it
It
also
can.
says a lot about the scientific community and how whenever they don't understand something, like sometimes they'll just completely disregard it because of the narrative. They're not able to tell the story. So they're like, okay, well, this story makes more sense. Okay. It's just kind of like, bro, like you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and that's
That's
what
the
the left
one.
does, right? The left brain like puts boundaries on things. So that's the scientific side.
I mean, if you call it junk, like you're not gonna be able to learn if, like what the fuck it is, dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure. I feel the same way about dark matter. Like they were like in the beginning, they're like, this is useless, because of the word dark in it. It's like
And
it's so
it's fucking whole universe, basically.
exactly.
Hey, bro, you know what a light code is? Watch. Do you know what a light code is?
Huh,
Inspiration. Inspiration. That's what a light code is.
for sure.
Because when
Yeah.
when you're in
Mm,
spirit,
yeah.
you know it, bro. There's
Yeah,
all
bro.
these fucking like super dope ass like little like one liners that just like hit, just like that one, just like that one.
Yeah, and what Arash said in today's lecture, which is like transcending is like a trans ending. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
a
yeah, 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 bro. Whenever you said
yeah,
that, bro, I was trying to remember that one today. Yeah, transcending, transcending. Oh shit, motherfucker! I was hypnotized.
for sure, man.
That's dope,
Yeah,
bro.
there's a lot of zingers I like. I like to write down the zingers because those are the things that really, get you to experience those
The
peak moments.
zingers, the zingers.
Zingers, yeah.
The resonators. Ah.
Oh, bro, the resonators.
The flabbergasters.
It's strange. Hey, did you get flabbergasted recently? Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I went to the McDonald's and they're offering it there when you get a Happy Meal. That is the fucking future. They're
Mm.
offering flabbergastation. But just imagine somebody listening to this podcast right now, like, what are they talking about?
What the fuck is this?
What is flabbergastation? Mom,
Mom, I
is that
heard this on the man, and someone was talking about the flabbergasters.
I can't sleep tonight.
That's
Is that a
so
farting disease?
that's good. That's good. But I like the resonators. I really like that. That's a term we should definitely use. You heard it here first, guys. Hashtag that shit. Someone make it viral. Um, back on topic. So, what makes a light worker? I think you have to be light. I don't think you have to be heavy. I think not in terms of, I mean, weight, though. I mean, of course, one can make the argument that if you really have an imbalanced root chakra, you're kind of, you're overweight because you want to feed yourself to ground yourself. One can make that argument too. But I think light's just like the feeling of lightness is what I mean. Like, I'm not fat shaming anybody, though you guys got to definitely get yourself in shape. But, I'm just saying, like, in terms of,
Circle is a shape. Circle is a shape, Sumed.
I know that. So it's triangle.
I don't make fun of fat people, bro. Bro, hey, bro. I
I'm
have a
not fat.
cousin who has a friend who's got an uncle who's got a teacher who knows somebody in the DEA who's fat. And I respect that person. Okay.
I have one friend. I have one fat friend. Don't make fun of fat people, bro.
Lower your
But
tone. Lower your tone. Lower your tone.
like one thing that really, I know this is kind of a little bit off topic, but like weight loss, like the word itself, loss, right? We're losing something. So I love the word releasing weight because it's an emotion, right? What you were saying to Najim, bro, in that Genius days when you were telling like, fat is protective, right? It's your guardian angel. I was like, bro, fuck, I've never, you know, considered that fact of like the fact it's actually protecting us. Uh, but it's very true. It's very true, man.
And we made it the enemy.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
did I say earlier at the beginning of this podcast? When you're in an argument with your friend or your family, remember that they're not the enemy. Bro, alright, like, okay, alright, okay, look. Universe, I'm ready.
Universe is, man. Do you notice that a lot of these spiritual light workers have a really like some of them have a really high pitched voice, like Shaman Durek, Feel Good.
Actually, like, what I think it comes down to is like, it's like you get to a point, like, let's just say, okay, let's just say us, like, who are like warriors and we train like warriors. I'm gonna consider that like middle, middle energy, like upper middle energy, maybe a little bit of the low high energy can be at times, right? But like high energy, bro, we don't even give a fuck about that shit. We don't even give a fuck about the body or whatever. We'd be like, we would just be like, whatever my buddy does, my buddy takes care of itself. It is perfectly fine. Like, that's how we would be, to be honest.
Ah, so you're saying it's like a level of freedom? Is that what you're saying? Like you're just not gonna care about the the physicalness of the body anymore. You're
Bro,
just
because
gonna be
think about it, like, what is it that you want? Like a strong body or a sexy body or attractive body or a healthy body or a fat body? Like, why do you want these things? Because you want to use it in the world, right?
right.
But when you transcend the world and you're in the place of the heavens, you don't need your body like that.
You know, man, I never actually considered that question before you brought something up for me. I wanna state this.
God damn, bro, what the fuck am I doing, bro? You gonna say that to me in front of all my kids? Goddamn, I'm all scared and shit now.
No,
I'm
it was the
laughing
thing,
towards you.
it was the thing you told me to do once, which was write down my perfect day,
Oh yeah.
write down the things that why you want them, like find the justification for why you want the body, find the justification for why you want, the girls, why do you want the, results that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helped me because I saw my egoic mind talk about it, but then I saw my spirit talk about it, and then I saw my practical level talk about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to see the levels of motivation as I was writing that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And actually, something that's really awesome, bro. Actually, something that I tell people is like when you write out a goal, when you write out the why. Make sure you write out a why for your lower self, your middle self, and your higher self. Like, 'cause they
Please.
gonna have it. You go. There's gonna be you. Why are you ignoring it? Why are you ignoring it? It's you. Like
Yeah.
the only thing that's like whenever you're fucking down, whenever you're like low rock bottom, somebody's telling you like, "Oh, just be love." That's not gonna work, okay? It's not gonna work. So you're really gonna need those fucking things that like really, the shit that makes you angry, the shit that makes you jealous, the shit that makes you, that frustrates you, the shit that annoys you, like that stuff. Like that should be part of the goal too. Like
Right.
I'm reaching this goal because you know what? I want to be fit because I want my ex to be like, damn, I fucked up. I fucked a sexy ass motherfucker, like, something like that.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, they forget about that. The fact that we have these lower motivations too, to at least get the ball rolling, right? So it's like, if I want to prove to others, like, I'm going to prove to them wrong, like, go for that, do that, at least get the ball rolling. But a lot of people, they're like, nah, that's too conceited of me or whatever, and it just stops their progress. And I like what you said, man, about like just love and light. In the spiritual community, man, they give so much generic advice. Just be grateful. Just, be in your heart. And all of these things are true, of course. They're very simple truths that are profound effect. They are going to help you. But for someone who isn't at that level of consciousness yet, it's just going to go in one ear and come out the other, right?
Yeah, it's just different tools for whatever consciousness level you're at. That's really it.
Exactly.
Chronic,
Exactly.
whatever chronic level you're at.
Bro, I realized this after I got on a call. I'm doing a program called Intentional Impact with this guy. His name is Jose Rodriguez. Right? I think he's a Spanish guy, maybe. But yeah, he's a men's work coach. He's teaching me how to really formulate my program more into a brand and tell my story, like storytelling and shit. So in the call, he told me something. He was like, in your product, sell different, like in your different pieces of content, show different levels of the hero's journey for them. So what level of the hero's journey is your avatar in? And that question really, I was like, oh shit, I've always been selling to one avatar, because everybody just tells you like sell to one person. But the fact is that same avatar can be in different phases of the transformation, right? And I never considered that before. Like I just saw like, oh yeah, one guy is just in the refusal to the call, one guy's coming back with the elixir of life. I thought it's just like, separate. But the fact is someone is on a dynamic process, right? Like when I considered that, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna change the way that I show up. And also something that he said was like the glass ceiling idea, right? We always say that I have a glass ceiling, right? I felt like that. I use that language. And I love when coaches do this. They take a concept and they just like pierce through it. He said, well, it's a glass ceiling, so that means you can see through it. So why don't you imagine that glass ceiling is like a car door, right? And you know how when as a kid, you used to smush your face against the glass door? Roll the window down slowly to let the breeze in. And I was like, damn, bro, like you really took that in a hella positive way, Like you really got me to see that glass ceiling is nothing more than me rolling down the glass door. Like that's lit as fuck.
And in a way, it's also showing you that the glass ceiling is helping you. Like it's also doing something good for you. Like it's not just doing something bad.
It's keeping me. Yeah, it's not like letting my head fall out the window, right? It's like
You're in a container. You're in a container. This is the world. It's just a way to help people transition. Actually, when you really think about it, it's dope. Actually, I wouldn't have thought about that. That's really good.
Yeah, man. I love these epiphanies, during coaching calls and shit. I just like, I love the zingers, bro, the flabbergasters, man, the fucking resonators, man.
The resonators, the flabbergasters, the zingers. Well, I'm happy with what we shared today. You happy?
Yeah, same.
Nice. Well, I just want to tell everybody that stop trying. Okay? Stop trying. Because to try is to fail. Stop
I
failing.
think Yoda said that. He was like, there is no trying, only doing. I was like, damn, son. Okay. Okay, Yoda.
Yeah, because like try is like it almost seems like you're doing it halfway. Try is the word that you use when you might fail. So you say that I might fail, I might not fail, I might not. So
Yeah, Vince says it's a presupposition, which means that like it sets up something from beforehand, right? It's like it just sets up a frame, like a weak frame beforehand. That happens, right? It's like it's true, man. When you're trying, you're like
presupposition. Oh, I love that word, bro. A presupposition.
such a good word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposition. It sounds funny too. Supposition. But it makes sense. Like a suppositions is like you summing up the idea, like whatever you sum up with a visualization it is in your head. And you do it pre. You do that shit pre like it's
Like,
algebra.
you suppose something like it's supposed to happen, but presupposition is you already from the past said that it's gonna happen, so it's like a presupposition, you know. I don't know. Maybe
What
that's how
about
I
a
see it.
post supposition?
Oh damn,
Is that a
that's a
word?
new term.
Post.
It should be a word.
Check that out.
Let's look it up, bro.
I'm looking it up.
Are you googling it?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Post supposition. Okay. Oh no, I found post position. Let me look at the word presupposition first. Then pre. Hey, Zoom, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, bro. You just so quiet. I was like,
No, I got. Have you got it? I pulled it up.
oh, you found post supposition?
I found pre. I don't know
I
about
found
post.
post, bro. Yeah, I found post.
Oh, see.
Well, then what's a supposition?
Okay, so it says presupposition is a thing tacitly assumed beforehand at the beginning of a line or argument or course of action. So it's an assumed thing, like, oh yeah, it's meant to be that way. So of course it's going to add a lot of pressure if it's assumed, right? With a post supposition, I don't know, man. That's a great question.
So I'm looking over here. The word superposition. It says action. Find superposer. Let's see. It's pronounced pre-superposition. Yeah.
Suppo, like SUPPOSITIO.
Suppo. Yeah. Presupposition. And then a supposition. What's a supposition?
Okay, so supposition just means like it's an assumption, a hypothesis, or a theory. So
Couldn't find that either.
So post just means like it's a theory that you assume after something happens. So yeah.
Shit. All right. Well, fuck this shit then. All right. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Everybody take a fucking pill and get out of this world.
In Ibiza. All right.
If you would like to contact Sumed for peak performance coaching, go to @FlowZone Academy on Instagram. That's FLOZONE Academy. If you would like to connect to your higher self, contact Ivan at odd.resilience. That's ODD.resilience. Also, make sure you follow the Better Man podcast on Instagram. See you next time.